So yeah, one of the things is a deep internalization of the way that people fight and the way that people interact with each other in their world. When it comes down to certain things, the connectivity of monsters or demons would be like in a stillborn child or tied to DNA. So there would be stillborn babies who they take the essence of that demon and they put it into a stillborn. So it's as if it's a reincarnation of someone rather than them just being it. And then there's others who would be the other side of it. So one would be the demon walker, the one that's the stillborn. The other would be tied to the DNA. So they take the DNA in essence and put it into a person who's actually already alive. So there's a difference there. The internalization and the emotional penetration of the fighting and techniques comes from their personality. So the personality is what's giving them the ability from what you call topaz or rift abilities. So their personality is and toe pads are the old way of calling something called rift abilities. Rift abilities comes from the interdimensional rift in the sky that causes their reality to alter. That's actually why they're animated. That's why they are a cartoon. They look a little cartoon like. However, it is still it has a sense of realism. They tackle very deep themes about nuclear arms, weapons, about people desensitization, and many other topics. There's a lot of things going on here, from people trying to invade territory and clans, to expressions of war and famine, and deep aspects of desensitization and how people handle it. How do you handle desensitization? How much can you handle before it starts to affect you personally? So, when it comes down to certain things, there are people who go through a lot of different things, people who are connected without people realizing that they're connected. There's a deep connection between what has happened before in a way that you normally wouldn't even expect. And when you realize this, you'll say, oh, wait a minute, I didn't know that these people were connected in that sense. And that's where the similarity comes from. But they don't know. The people don't actually know. Um, and there's a lot. The abilities has a lot of meaning and weight behind it. The way that they fight and move, there's a sense of emotional intensity. There's a sense of penetration. There's a sense of weight behind what's happening, and there's a meaning behind it. Sometimes, if two people, one person might do something really bad, but you might understand why, and you might stand with them anyway, and you might do some things you don't do that, but they do, but you still are standing with them because you understand them, because you've been through their struggle, you're connected, that you know that they're in the same flock, and that can cause that to happen. It's a very complex thing when it comes to those kinds of situations, and the way you handle it might be simple. You never know, and there's so much going into it. There's so much, and the thing about it, that's the thing.